And here I want to introduce Sean, another member of our project. He's going to tell you about air quality control statistics.
My name is Sean Fleming. I just want to start by saying I became a project advocate for freedom from tobacco because I realized that I didn't know a single person my age that didn't smoke, especially in San Francisco. And I was unfortunately experiencing a really shocking statistic of, in California, 44% of queer 18 to 24-year-olds are smokers, compared to only 16 or 17% of our straight counterparts of the same age. And I'm still kind of processing that. I think it's really scary for the future of our community, for our friends, for my friends. And so that's why I got involved. It's also very relevant to our goals because young people at that age really meet and build community in bars and outdoor spaces, especially in San Francisco. And so I think it's really important that we try to provide spaces where we can be and meet each other and have fun while not endangering our health. And so as Brian mentioned before, we partnered with UCSF to measure air quality on 4 patios of LGBT bars in San Francisco. We use an instrument called the TSI SidePack 510, which measures particulate matter in the air on patios and indoors. Average measures on 2 of the patios were within the EPA's unhealthy range, with a 3rd averaging unhealthy for sensitive groups, and the 4th was in a moderate range. Also during peak periods, all 4 venues were found to be in an unhealthy range, with some measurements extending into very unhealthy. And really most important, we found that most consistently toxic air was in the spaces where there was a cover of at least 50% of the patio. So it seems reasonable to conclude that when there's a cover overhead, it presents a situation or an environment that is much like an indoor smoking area. And to speak more to that, we're going to have Michael talk about why he can't go to bars.
Thank you so much, Sean. I heard Michael speak in front of the Board of Supervisors, I think it was, and what he said touched me, so be ready.
I have to remember what I said.
Told the truth.
I did tell the truth, you're right. Good afternoon. First thing I'd like to do is to say thank you to Flore and its management for taking the courage and the step to making this a smoke-free atmosphere, particularly outside. My history with freedom from tobacco goes way back. I was one of the original advocates, and we weren't called freedom from tobacco then, we were called butt out. But the work is very important. And for me, when I first was an advocate, I didn't suffer from pulmonary fibrosis, which I now have. So I only have the use of one lung. And it's very distressing when I can't go out, say for example, if I had a group of friends that say, hey, we're going to meet at Flore, it's a beautiful afternoon, why don't you come? And we want to sit out there. I can't, because if somebody, well I can now, but if somebody was out there smoking, it makes it very difficult, because I can't breathe. I'm sure we've all seen the commercials about people that are laying on a couch saying, you know, having COPD is like having an elephant sitting on your chest. They're telling you the truth. When you have 2 lungs, it's very easy. When you only have 1, everything else becomes very difficult. Even though that 1 is still in good shape, it's very difficult. I can't walk up a hill. I can't ride a bike. I can't go hiking. I can't do many things that I used to do, even though I really love hiking. So to have to walk down the street in my own neighborhood, and I live in McCashco, and to have people just stand there and blow smoke in my face, whether it's intentional or unintentional. Most of the time, I would think it's unintentional. They don't realize what effect that has on others, whether you're in perfect health and just don't like smoke, or whether it has a sincere serious effect on your ability to breathe. When that has been removed and you have a problem breathing, I can't begin to tell you how you long for the days of not having to go, oh my God, I can't breathe because of whatever reason. So, yes, I went down and I spoke with the Board of Supervisors, and it got passed that smoking up in Jane Warner Plaza and Harvey Milk Plaza was being banned. Enforcement is another question, which is why I am so grateful to Cafe Flore for taking the steps, because this you can control. This you can walk out and say, no, there's no ashtray. They'll still have to go out into the street, but at least it's a start. And I encourage all of the business owners within our own community, and I know Freedom from Tobacco will continue to fight hard, to get where bars along Castro Street don't allow their interior patio for people to sit there and smoke, or standing in front of the bar, where we can start to enforce to say, we're not trying to take away somebody's rights. I am a big believer in choice. I think we all get to make choices. But I'm not going to tell somebody they can or can't smoke. I may encourage you not to. I may encourage you to quit. I may try to help you to not pick up a cigarette and smoke. I understand the power of addiction, but I understand as well that they don't get to make a choice for me, and that I can't go out, that I can't go be with friends, that I can't do it because they had decided that they're going to stand out in the street and smoke a cigarette, and now I can't walk, and now I can't breathe. So again, thank you very much, Cafe Flore. Thank you, Brian, for all the hard work.
Great.
So if JD, if you could come up, and Sean. All right. I hope you're, sorry, I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit here. But, you know, one of the misconceptions out there that we hear is that going smoke-free harms businesses. So, JD, what has been the experience of Cafe Flore since going smoke-free in terms of the success of your business?
Well, it hasn't changed too much. Just that everybody enjoys it and like it. And so, myself, I find it much more pleasant not to walk up to the back door and to smell the smoke. And so it's been quite lovely. So, good movement.
Thank you, JD. So I'm told that you haven't lost any business.
No, not at all.
Right. So, yeah, and that has been the common experience that we found. We've done a lot of research, and basically we found that every scientifically peer-reviewed study that's been done anywhere has shown that when businesses, when bars and restaurants go smoke-free, they don't lose money, and they very often make more money. That has been what we've seen all over the world. So that is a really important message to get out, because we know that there is that fear, especially in this economy, that, you know, if you do go smoke-free, you're not going to go out of business. In fact, you might do much better. We've spoken also with many people, including many smokers, that prefer to go to bars that are smoke-free. And we know that about 70% of smokers want to quit, and that being in an environment where it is more challenging to smoke can sometimes be that inspiration for smokers who want to quit, and give them that extra little push that they need and that they want to be able to break free from tobacco. And so now we're going to pass the lunch.
So, toward that end, so to speak, we've invited our community bars to make a resolution, a New Year's resolution of sorts, to make their outdoor spaces healthier places for both smokers and non-smokers to gather. So we're asking bars with outdoor patios to observe the spirit and intent of San Francisco's smoke-free workplace policies and help make their outdoor spaces healthier for their customers and for their employees. So specifically, we're asking them to ensure that all outdoor areas with a cover are smoke-free at all times. They clearly mark a 10-foot smoke-free zone away from doors and windows to the inside of the patio. To make sure that food is prepared and served in areas that are smoke-free. And to educate all staff about just the law in general and also how to protect themselves. And for that, I think, Brian, you're coming back up? Yeah.
So thanks everybody for your patience. We've got one more song from BB coming up, and another song from BB coming up in just a moment. So I want to give everybody some good news, aside from what we're celebrating at Cafe Flore today in terms of the bars. There are several bars that, after speaking with us and hearing the results of our studies, have taken some steps to work towards reducing the impact of secondhand smoke on their staff and their customers. The Cinch, for example, on Polk Street, they've put up a sign stating that smoking is only allowed on the back wall of the patio. They've also put up a sign talking about the damage caused by secondhand smoke and the risk of secondhand smoke. So that's a step forward. The Powerhouse has removed most of its overhead cover in its back area. And Pilsner Inn has removed a portion of its overhead cover as well. And Pilsner Inn has also is going to be expanding their smoke-free zone in the patio by an extra 5 feet. So those are steps that are being taken in the right direction, and we thank those 3 bars for taking the right steps and moving in the right direction for the health of our community. And now we'll bring on BB Sweetwater for another song. Thank you so much, everybody.
We hope.
We hope.
Crossing our fingers. You know, as I was listening to everyone speak about this important issue, I crossed my mind about, you know, I get complaints from people who do smoke about, you know, not being able to smoke in public areas. Do smokers not fly? Do they not fly? I just wonder, because sometimes you take long flights. I know I flew from here to Washington, D.C. over the holidays. That was 5 hours. Do smokers not make those trips? And my point is that even if you are a smoker and you think you need to smoke, I think you can wait sometimes a long period of time before you go back to your home and do it in the privacy of your own home, as opposed to in public areas that will affect others in yourself. You know what I'm saying? So, just a thought that I thought I'd kind of throw out there. But are we hearing it? This song that I think I'm going to do next, I think it's the right song. I think we just need to make a change, and this song is all about changing and all about stepping forward. But sometimes we do need help, and oh, I would love to have Scott come up. Come on. No, come up, hon. Come